Hello. Today, we will be going through the CSU application with specifics on how to fill out each section and other additional information to help you move smoothly throughout the process.
So to begin, we'll be clicking the freshman button at the bottom of the page, and this will open a drop-down menu. From here, choose the fall semester, since you'll be graduating from high school, and then select apply. This will take you to a sign-in/login page, and since you don't have an account yet, you'll be pressing the create account button, and you'll be asked to fill out general information about yourself, your name, and email. And make sure you do not use your student email because that will be deleted after you finish high school. So use a personal email and be sure to check it often, as colleges that you applied to will be contacting you often with very important information. And after finalizing your count, the website will ask you to fill out more questions such as your degree interests and marital status and so on. And as you select these options and answer these questions, the application will begin to display more questions or certain questions that apply to you based on your previous answers, and remove the unnecessary ones. And after answering these questions, you'll be taken to the Add Program tab. After clicking Sign In, it'll be taking you to the Add Program tab, but we'll come back to this later. So for now, click on My Application.
All right, now you can finally start filling out the actual application. So before we begin, if you have any questions and need help with the process, click the blue check mark at the top right, and it will take you to a help center to talk to people for clarification. As you can see here, you simply fill out your personal information, which has 8 sections altogether. But before you begin, you have to make sure to check the release statement. So by doing so, this just means that all the information you'll be putting down in the application will be accurate. If not, your application may be delayed or even canceled if, for example, your name does not match your high school records. So be sure not to rush through the questions and focus on keeping your information accurate so that your application does not get rescinded.
Okay, next is the biographic information section. And this is pretty self-explanatory here. It's just your name, gender, what city and state. At the bottom, you're asked specific yes or no questions here. And moving on to the next section, which is contact information. Again, this is simple information to fill out so colleges can send you important information through either regular mail, email, or text. And now we're going to move on to the citizenship/residency information. This information focuses on how long you have been a California resident and make sure that you have a U.S. citizenship. There's nothing too confusing here. Moving on to the race and ethnicity, this section is exactly what it sounds like. It is optional and you can decline to it. But as you can see here, they do ask you for your race and ethnicity for statistical purposes. It will not really affect your application or financial aid in any way. And now moving on to parent/guardian information. So this is a pretty long section, and you will very likely need your parents' help while filling it out. So you're gonna want to click the big blue button here that says add a parent or guardian, and then get your parent and go through to fill out this information. So you'll need to fill in the mailing address, name, whether or not they want to be contacted by colleges regarding your application. And then after you complete one parent, you're going to go down here and save and continue and repeat the process with the other parent, and make sure this information is correct because once you submit it, you cannot edit it afterwards. The other information will ask you for your social security number and your statewide student ID. This is a 10-numbered digit and usually found at the top of your high school transcript. And I'll skip over these steps because these are general but next is a list of programs, CalFresh and the California Promise program. These programs help you, and if you want to know more about them, you can click the blue hyperlinks that will give you more information about these programs. So mainly on the financial and parental information is a section that you will just need your parents' help with. And if you don't know the exact amounts on these financial questions, it's okay, just estimate it. And finally, you will click save and continue, and this will take you to a new page where you will see 4 major sections to fill out, each with its own sections inside, and that is this page here, and you'll find that you've just completed personal information here. So if you're having trouble filling out the questions, you can always come back to it later before the application is due. But for now, we're going to move on to academic history. First of all, it's straightforward, and it's going to ask the high school that you've attended here. So I've already added a high school here, but what you're going to want to do is click add high school, and then it'll ask you the zip code, and then just put in the approximate dates that you attended the school. So we're just going to fill that in real quick here. And as you can see, you can select any school that you want to. Just select your term type, and you can save that school.
Okay, so after saving, next is academic information. And by clicking by clicking no, you can press save and continue afterwards. And this takes you to high school coursework. Here you will enter each of your grade years and the classes you took for each year and what grades you got in each one. And the classes will be listed from a drop-down menu based on the high school that pertains to you. Use your high school transcripts and make sure that the classes and grades match what you have completed in class. As you see here, I'll put some random grades and classes and save and continue. And now moving on to A through G requirements or matching. In this section, the website will take the grades and classes that you have submitted in the previous tab and determine how many years of the A through G requirements you have completed. And at the top is a warning stating that if you do not have enough years to complete of the correct classes, your application will be impacted negatively or rescinded. So be sure to pass all your classes. For the final tab, it's standardized tests, and these tests refer to the IB or AP exams and the SAT and ACT and other tests that you have possibly taken. Here, you'll report your scores of the ones you have taken if it's applicable. But if you do not have any test scores to report because you have not taken them yet, you can simply ignore it and move on and put that you will be taking them later on an anticipated date. But for now, let me show you here where it shows for the scores for the AP or IB exams. If you click on it, you put you do not have to put a score for the exams that you have not taken yet, and you can put down the anticipated date instead. And
so after
that's it for the
finishing
section.
after finishing this entire section, we can move on to the next section. So the third section that we will do is supporting information. This is the shortest and easiest one to do with only one section required. So here you will see the achievement tab. So to list your extracurriculars such as clubs, awards, outside volunteer work, or more, this section is optional, but of course, adding activities strengthens your application, and there's no limit to what you do here, so we can just add awards. And moving forward onto section 4 after this. So section 4 is called program materials, where you decide what CSU and major you apply for. So it starts with one section, but increases equal to the number of CSUs you choose. So to add a college, you just click add program at the top here. And then you type the name of the school in the search bar and choose from a long list of programs for that college. So for example, we have CSU Bakersfield here. And through all this is all the programs that you can apply for Bakersfield. So with all 4 sections of the CSU application complete, you can go to the home page and select Submit Application. So it's at the very top here, we can press Submit Application. So this is where we'll pay for the applications and finalize everything. After it is paid for, the colleges will receive your application, and now you can wait for their response. Also, if you qualify for financial aid, the total fees will be adjusted accordingly. And after this, you just wait for the response of your colleges and you're done with your application.